Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. The morning is just beginning. And so we're headed to Bulong Mountain. Man, tough. One of those ones where, yeah, it's all going in. It's all going in. So, Laobang Zhang, Laoban Zhang. I don't know how to pronounce this village name. Famous village on Bulong Mountain. Prized for being at the tippy top. Bulong. 3 nice pieces in there. We got a 2024 pressing here, but my goodness, quite dark. I'm underhydrated this morning, so this is how we're starting the day off. I really appreciate these packages. They're nice. Not that packaging matters much at all, frankly. In fact, I don't really want to spend money on packaging, but they do look good. Nice color to start. Oh, sip of water. Dump. Nice, smells good. Oh, pretty clean. Look at how dark that is. Wow, let's get in there. I don't know when this material was produced, but it certainly looks very fermented. Cheers. Wow, incredible fruit nose, plum into dark cherry. Okay, oh, beautiful. Gorgeous. Let's get back in here. The fruit nose on this is really remarkable. Yeah, classic. Little vanilla in there. The plumminess on this is really interesting. Almost almost kind of like a roasted Taiwanese oolong thing happening. Cheers. Ooh. Sweet, but has a nice deep bitterness, earthiness to it to start. Nice sugary sweetness. Wow, this is really nice. Maybe not exactly what I'm hoping for my first like few sips of the morning. I'm kind of wanting that darker. Then again, I can always be convinced otherwise. Wow, this is nice. Really clean for a young ripe. Let me just see some data if I can find any here in terms of any information about the matcha. I brew it, blah blah blah. Not too much. Yeah, not too much information about this one. Single origin. I believe this is sold in a brick. Yep. And wow. Okay. If this is what I think it is, this is close to $2 per gram. So this is definitely a special $379 per 200 gram cake for the 2024 pressing. That's very expensive ripe tea. Wow. Okay. I'm going to slow down a little bit now. Let's see what a 20 gram cake is, which is what I have here, 46. Okay, now I had one other one. I want to make sure I'm not. Yeah, no, that's definitely it. Okay. Enough of this bitter bite that I'm now really experiencing on the tip of my tongue on the end of this steeping that I think there is promise for age here, but also really ready for drinking today. It's got a really beautiful sweetness already. Young ripe. Sure, it's been fermented quite a bit, but it can be pretty sour sometimes. And the storage, well, I guess there's not as much storage taste, but sometimes you want to have a little bit of the funk dissipate over the first couple of years. Really kind of typically, I'd say most ripe is going to be best at least 3 years into production or pressing, I guess. Wow. Okay. Well, one of those ones where probably not doing this in the right context. I think this is probably, I didn't check the price point on this, but I think this is one of those ones where probably would have been better to have this a little bit after I've woken up my taste buds. Nevertheless, what a treat. Cheers. Beautiful color. Very clean. And really, you're expecting a lot of homogeneity on the color from a high quality ripe. It means the production has been solid. It also means that they're not including any of the pile from the extremities where the processing will be a bit more variable. They're going to want to basically trim the pile and then actually press material from kind of the core of it, if you will. So again, you get even more of a focused flavor. It's kind of the same principle behind blending, right? Yeah, the earthy, the woodiness on this is already getting into earthier notes. Not necessarily compost, but bassy, minerally almost. Sometimes I talk about earthy notes being kind of dry, dusty, deserty, or spicy, or like turmeric or root, ginger, those kinds of things. No, this is like mineral wood, almost like barky, like sassafras, or like a root beer kind of a thing. Really sugary sweet. The fruit I'm not noticing quite as much in the cup. Really great viscosity and texture. One of those teas where it really fills the register. noticeable, clear, precise high notes, deep, bassy, low notes, mid body, just has it all. And again, kind of uncommon to get out of. Ripe is often considered kind of a cheaper processing because it's extremely processed. So there's a lot less variability in the final profile compared to other types of processing. Maybe oolong being the best one, where there's so many steps in the process of production for oolong that a lot of things done differently can have a very big impact. I actually would argue the same to be true of green tea, believe it or not, just because the amount of time pan frying the leaves themselves has a really big impact on the flavor profile at the end. Of course, Sheng Puerh is going to also be similar, quite a bit of variability on that one. But what's so cool about this tea is there's just a lot here for what would be considered kind of a basic profile. And again, when I say basic profile, I mean ripe, not this tea. This is amazing. So I'm going to leave everyone here. This is going to be a shorter one, not because this tea isn't excellent, because actually I'm going to spend 30 minutes getting hydrated. I want to be able to really be enjoying this tea a bit more. Then I want my taste buds to wake up. I want more focus on this one, and I can tell like I'm just trying to like get my day started a little bit. Yeah. This is a treat, and definitely a tea drinker's tea, and I'm feeling slightly guilty not having this with James right now, but my goodness, delicious. There's quite a few offerings over in Sheng, so check those out. Lots of teas to try, to enjoy. Hope everyone has a great start to your morning. Probably a good idea to read up a bit more about the tea you're drinking before you start to drink it. That's the lesson from today. Certainly gonna enjoy this one all day. It's staying in the guy one, probably into tomorrow. Realistically, a tea like this I would boil at the end of its life to really get in there. I'm noticing the fruit now. Okay. Bye.